Hello, friends, and welcome to the Cinemondo podcast with Kathy and Burk. Mark is in prison right now. He got arrested.
Stop
That's
it.
what I heard.
Quit spreading rumors.
I read it on Twitter.
Then it must be true.
It must be. Yeah. I mean, how could it be a lie if it's on Twitter? But no, Mark is busy. Mark has a job that keeps him busy, and he's
GOP.
Mark's doing good. He will be back.
He'll be back. He's there. He's doing podcasts. We just do them during the week sometimes. That's all.
I know. That's when I have a job.
I do too, but never mind. I only do it before work or after work.
Yeah. And look who just walked in.
Darwin.
Hey, brother.
Hi.
Hiding behind the microphone.
I got an itch.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's so good.
He just doesn't care. All right.
He doesn't care. He's like, I don't care if I'm on camera. I don't care. I don't care at all.
Aww. But there's Darwin. Proof that he's still around. There he is.
Still around. There's a tail. He saw his tail.
It's hard to see him in the dark. But anyway,
all right. Yes.
Darwin sometimes thinks that he is a Black Panther. Brings us to our he's got that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But the film we're going to look at a trailer today for Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. And a lot of people have some very sad, interesting, bittersweet kind of feelings about this, because the star of the Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, who was so great, it was so like talk about gravitas and perfect casting. When you think about the comic book, which I grew up with, I loved the Jack Kirby, comics, the Avengers. And when they meet the Black Panther, it's a very powerful comic. I remember feeling like, what a mysterious and powerful character. It was all about empowerment and stuff, because when the Black Panther appeared in the comics, people needed that, the empowerment and this superhero that we had never seen a black superhero before. And that, I mean, now we're kind of used to the Black Panther and things like that. But back then it was like, I remember my black friends just loved Black Panther and just brought the comics to school. And we used to, look at when we used to bring comics to school. And the Black Panther was like, wow, we got our own superhero. And that was
finally
the coolest thing. Yeah. And so the movies, we got Chadwick Boseman, who was a perfect incarnation of that. And so sad that he is no longer with us to continue the character. So everybody's been wondering, what is Black Panther 2 going to do about that? And it's been this big mystery. How are they going to handle that? Yeah. How are they going to? I mean, because the idea of the Black Panther is that the torch of the Black Panther is handed down through the generations.
Right.
That there was a Black Panther hundreds of years ago or 1,000 years ago or whatever. And that every generation gets a new Black Panther. So maybe that's what'll happen. Probably will happen. But should we watch it?
It'll be interesting. Yeah, let's see. I have not seen it. We're gonna check out the marketing.
Oh, this is the first trailer you've seen for it. Because I think
we saw the first teaser one. This is the newest
teaser.
Official trailer. Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
And
Only the most broken people.
Wow.
Can be great leaders.
These people did not call him general or king. They called him Kukul Khan, the feather serpent god. Killing him will risk eternal war.
He's coming. for the surface world.
We know what you whisper. They have lost their protector. Now is our time to strike. Show them who we are.
Wow, that was gorgeous.
All right, that looks like I was saying before, it looks very cool, and it's got the Submariner in it. Some people say Submariner, but the Submariner makes an appearance in this, and the Submariner is literally one of the oldest Marvel characters. He goes all the way back to the early before Marvel. Submariner was started off as kind of a villain who eventually became an ally, but in this one he looks like a villain.
Right.
And he has the wings on his feet, which is
love
so
that.
cool.
It
Yeah.
was very, very cool looking. I love that. So this is directed by Ryan Coogler, who
Yeah.
did Creed, and he also did the first one, I believe.
Yes.
So this guy's this career is exploding. Amazing.
Yeah.
And he brings such a whole new like perspective and personality to these films. Like when I watch this, I don't feel like I'm watching just another Marvel film, which I don't mean to dismiss the other movies, but they have a vibe. You know, it's like, oh, Marvel, that's Marvel. And it feels a little surface. But this feels like deep and historic, and just there's something about just feels a little like heavyweight versus a little more just entertainment surface superhero. Like there's just a little bit more going on in these. So I'm very excited about these.
Well, I like the fact that so many of the Marvel films have different vibes to them. Like some are even sort of comedies. You know, the Taika Waititi Thor films recently have been, you know, like almost too comical, like silly comedy. Yeah. But then there's some that are like heist films. There's some that are like political thrillers. There's some that are like fantasies.
Yeah.
Some are like, you know, like a war film or something. And they each have their own kind of vibe. Like the Ant-Man films have very smaller stakes, I guess, in some cases.
Smaller stakes.
Yeah. Ant-sized.
Teeny, tiny stakes.
This one looks like it continues the whole idea of the, you know, that idea again, what we're talking about, environmental issues. And I think the idea of Wakanda represents you know, they use the word tribal type of community where they are more balanced with nature. And the idea that there are ways to live in balance with nature. You don't have to constantly destroy it in order to survive and have a thriving futuristic society. And the idea of, you know, people coming in to exploit, and they have the vibranium, and so people have come in to try to steal that. And you know, it's an interesting concept.
It is,
and it looks like this movie is just going to be intense.
Oh, it looks grand. It looks beautiful. Just it's got a little tiny bit of Avatar in it with a lot of that underwater stuff. But I'm just saying, I'm not dissing it by saying that. But so we have a few posters.
Cool.
So we originally have like this teaser, which is great. It's just, you know, it's like the obvious, like, you guys, this Black Panther, we're not shying away from it.
Doesn't give anything away either. Nope. It doesn't tell you who the Black Panther is.
No, I know. It's kind of like, oh, wait, what's going on here? You know, it's just a really beautiful rimlet image of the mask.
Yeah.
And then we have some character cells, and we still have the mask in it, but you have this beautiful, like, just I like this almost not Indiana Jones, but this sort of epic kind of, you know, the framework, the little vignettes inside the framework. You know, there's a lot of little Easter eggs in here, little extra details, and I love the light coming through. It's really gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then, you know, of course, we have the title now showing up, which we didn't have a title on this. You just have to know who that is.
Right. Yeah.
And then we have, of course, the IMAX version of the final art, which is still a cast cell, like we can see it, but now they're doing a whole warm tone so that we know it's different from the other campaigns. So if you want to see the IMAX version, you're looking at the gold tones.
And it may sort of give away a little bit here who's the Black Panther.
Oh,
And I
yeah,
think that was a
maybe.
big
Oh, yeah.
question.
Okay. Who are you thinking is the Black Panther in this poster?
Well, I think it's Shuri, because she's
Yeah, that makes sense.
she's the smart, like super genius, and also can fight, I guess.
That's true. Yeah.
I was thinking it was going to be someone else, but
Hmm.
you see, it's a woman. In
Yeah.
the suit there in that shot.
Yeah, it's true. And also, this has a huge cast, like some great, Angela Bassett, of course, just
Yeah,
killer, just amazing. But a lot of other, great actors, Lupita Nyong'o,
right.
and lots of other cool people. So, okay, we'll keep going with the posters. I could make a long list of, of everyone else. So then we have the teaser posters that are tying in, I think, with the IMAX because they're the warm tones. And then everyone's going to have the pattern behind them.
Right.
And like they each are going to have their own that kind of signifies like something from the armor. Like this is.
And it's very based in the African art styles.
And I love that. I love the green tone thrown in on top of the warmth. It's really nice. And we have the blue tone, which is probably going to tie in with the original poster art. So this is probably more the theatrical, not just the IMAX. But you can see like the beautiful blue tones. And this one's a little bit more rugged. They don't have the graphic design element. It's like they're just keeping it real dark and simple. And then just some beautiful, cooler tones. More about character detail in the wardrobe, and not so much about graphic design. But
Right.
really nice campaigns coming out. There's gonna be a lot. There's a lot and that was just a sampling of I think there's probably 20 posters to look at. But they all, a lot of them are character posters. Each one's getting their own poster because each character is really important in this series. So I think it's important to see all that. What are you writing down?
A note.
A note.
Yeah. But it looks intense, and it looks really fun, and it's also sad at the beginning, the idea that they're saying, that now that our hero is gone, that you may feel like this is a time that we're weak and you can attack us, but evidently they are not. So
I know, so sad.
I guess maybe that now that they don't have the protector,
It's amazing to think in that first film that he was already sick, but he was so majestic and so great. Like you just had no idea that there was anything wrong. This looks like a really powerful film. I'm really excited to see it. It looks gorgeously produced and, just A-list all the way.
Right.
Yeah, really
It
nice.
does. It looks like another, you worried there after the whole, that 1-2 punch of Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
Those were such huge blowouts that you thought, what can they do after this? I mean, Thanos destroys half of the universe, and then they fight and they get it back, and it's like, how are you going to do a story that tops that? And I think one thing that they approach with some of the Marvel films is not so much the stakes being higher, like, okay, it was half the universe before, now it's going to be the whole universe.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, well, what can you do after that? But what they do is they make the stakes not higher, like more and more and more, but they make it more emotional. They add this sort of emotional character element to it, where you can still do a smaller story where it's the, it's like the dignity of a society or this group of people or this person fighting for their own dignity, or fighting against something that's here on the earth, like the Submariner, who another environmental issue. Submariner being this guy who hates humans because of what they're doing to the ocean, And interestingly, I think it was in one of the Endgame films, Infinity War's Endgame, where you see them asking the folks in Wakanda, is everything okay? And she says, well, there was an underwater earthquake. And Black Widow says, well, what are you going to do about it? And she says, the way we deal with it is we do nothing. It's like we don't have to go in and destroy,
Exactly. Close up that earthquake. I know, exactly.
So I have a feeling there's going to be a reconciliation kind of thing with the Submariner, like there was in the comics. It's not a spoiler, but he does eventually become a sort of volatile ally. He's not. He's never. He never kind of fully blends in with the surface people. He's always kind of a loose cannon type of a character, but he does eventually become an ally.
See what I like about this, I don't know that much. I wasn't a big Marvel comic book reader. I don't know the details. So what I like is that you can fill in the details for me and
Right.
for whoever's watching. But also I want to see it even as a non-Marvel person. It still looks like a movie I'm going to like.
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of the entry, the gateway to these films is you don't necessarily have to know everything to actually like these movies. And so we don't want to scare people away thinking, oh, I'm not going to know all these details, because you don't need to. You can just watch the film and let it unfold. And you don't have to know all the Easter eggs or all the background. And that's why, I still want to see this film because it just looks like an amazing story.
Yeah. And if you've never seen a Marvel film, you can,
Exactly.
hopefully the idea is that you could watch any of the Marvel films and then feel like, wow, I want to see the earlier ones or the later ones to see what happened before, what led up to this. Because I think they each stand on their own, really, as an interesting film. They make sure that they explain what the quest is, or the stakes, or the arc of the story, so that you can follow along, even though you may not know where these characters came from or what planet they're from or whatever.
Exactly. All right, so definitely excited about this one. Looks really good.
Yeah, it looks like a good one.
Epic. Let us know what you
Yes.
guys think in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We love it. Join our membership. You get access to our Slack channel, and you get to talk to us in person, just live as it's happening, or not. We don't have to talk live. We can but lots of fun stuff, badges, emojis, everything's custom. It's great. So definitely join up. See you next time.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.